Hi everybody, I'm DJ Foster, joined by Grand Valley State head football coach Matt Mitchell for this 2013 GLIAC football preview. Mitch, let's look back at 2012 before we move on. 8-3 record for you guys, second straight year you've had that mark, a share of the GLIAC North Division title. But talk about what the offseason was kind of like, not only for you and your staff, but your players as well.
We had some changes. There's no doubt about that. We lost a couple guys on the offensive side of the ball from a staff perspective, and so that was a big focus of ours early on in January and February was, replacing some staff members on that side of the ball, and then, going out and spending a lot of time on both sides of the ball, but specifically on defense, visiting with some other staffs and looking to, change up our schemes and try to get better at coaching. And so we spent some time traveling, did some things, and we made some tweaks, obviously from a staff standpoint and from a scheme standpoint heading into spring practice. And, we lost some seniors, so trying to replace those guys and kind of get a little bit of a feel for what our 2013 squad was going to look like as we finished up spring.
Your offense obviously was tremendous last year, averaged a GLIAC high 42 points a game, but you lost a couple important guys, Charles Johnson, Tim Lolito, Israel Wolfork, but you bring back a big group of guys, both your quarterbacks, Heath Parling and Isaiah Grimes, a great core of running backs with Chris Robinson, Mike Rattay, Kirk Spencer, and then Matt Armstrong will be kind of the key on the offensive line. Talk about what you expect from the offense this season.
Yeah, it starts with the quarterback position, and I think we're fortunate that we've now have two guys coming back that have both had a lot of experience. Heath Parling led the nation in pass efficiency in 2011, then tore his ACL at the beginning of the year last year, but Isaiah Grimes came in and picked up for him until he had a little bit of a setback with an injury, but he ended up actually leading the nation in 2012 in pass efficiency also. So we have back-to-back years. We had two different quarterbacks lead the nation in pass efficiency. Both guys are back. Both guys are healthy heading into the season, and they both have 2 years eligibility left. So in regards to 2013, we obviously have depth there. We feel good about the quarterback position. It's going to be interesting to see how things play out. I mean, Heath was our starter in 2011, but Isaiah did a great job last year. So we're going to give him equal reps as things start. And really, I think both guys are great friends. There's a lot of competition on this team in general, but specifically that position. Look forward to seeing those guys kind of compete and see who gives us the best chance to win in 2013. And then, as you mentioned, we return all of our rushing yards in addition to Chris Robinson coming back after an injury. Look forward to him get back in the mix, and probably exciting about that too is that none of those guys are seniors. Mm-hmm. So you talk about Kirk Spencer had a great redshirt freshman year. Mike Rattay was very solid for us. Chris Robinson, Hershey Jackson's coming back off the injury. Ben Hutchins did a great job in some time when we had some other injuries. So we're looking at 4, maybe 5 guys at that position that have produced in the GLIAC, and getting those guys back out there will be exciting.
Defensively, obviously last year there was times where the team struggled on that side of the ball, but you bring back a lot of familiar faces: Luther Ware, Charles Hill, Matt Judon, Brad Horling, Eric Thompson, to name a few. What are the hopes for the defense this year?
Well, obviously we got to get a little bit better up front than we were last year. I know we got hamstringed a little bit by injuries. I thought Matt Judon was probably in a position to have a really good sophomore year, and he went down. And so, he's had a great offseason, a great spring, and a great summer, and look forward for big things out of him at the defensive end position. But a couple seniors that have played with Lucas Kozu and Hunter Sharneski. We've brought in some transfers I think will help shore things up that went through spring and did some things for us. And then we have 4 senior linebackers. Luther Ware was a very consistent player, Chuck Hill, Sam Power, Jordan Kaufman, and a couple of younger guys mixing in that mix. And then getting Reggie Williams back off of his ACL injury was arguably our best corner, and Devontae Jones, Mike Hatcher, to name 3 corners out there. And then, Eric Thompson played a lot until he actually tore his MCL late in the year. And so Eric Thompson is back for his senior year. Brad Horling played awesome, and we've got a couple younger guys coming up. So really the defensive side of the ball, getting a bunch of guys back off injuries, whether it's ACLs or MCLs that missed a ton of time last year, getting those guys back, adding some depth up front on our defensive line so we can get back to where we are, and then taking a look at the way that we're coaching things, taking a look at the schemes, because you're right, I felt we had championship offensive numbers, championship special teams numbers. Our defense wasn't where we needed it to be, and that's something we definitely have addressed heading in 2013.
Let's talk about the third part of the game. Special teams obviously was very successful with Eric Thompson and Reggie Williams, as you said before they went down with their injuries, but you led the GLIAC last year in kickoff returns, punt net yardage, and kickoff coverage. So that seemed to be a huge strength of your game last year. Talk about it going into this year.
Well, I tell you, we've got all of our specialists back, and then we signed If there's 1-2 freshmen, I'll mention Joel Skipper from Grand Rapids Christian was a very highly touted kicker and won a state championship game for them, and he's coming in. So between Marco Ayadros, a very consistent kickoff guy, Chris Picano did a great job punting, Ryan Stokes, Joel Skipper, we have a solid group of specialists. Mm-hmm. Jamie Potts, who had a great year for us as a tight end, a redshirt freshman year, and also made big plays for our baseball team in the regional down the stretch on the way to the World Series. He's also can kick and punt and do a lot of things. So we feel good about that, and then you populate him with some good athletes around him. That's that's why we're able to do the numbers that we had. So I think the special teams production was a reflection of what we have on our team. We had some really good skilled athletes. We weren't as good as we need to be up front, especially on our defensive line. And so I look for us to continue to do what we did from a special teams standpoint. And if there's anything I know that this team bought into last year, and this squad will too, is that the impact that can have on a game. And we put our best players out there, and we've got some good specialists. So that's a portion of the game that we're really looking forward to in 2013, and looking forward to coaching and getting those guys out there.
Your schedule this year is kind of similar to a Big Ten schedule where you have 7 home games, including the first 3 here at Lover Stadium in September. You only have 4 road games, and you only have to leave the state of Michigan once to go down to Ohio Dominican. Kind of talk about your schedule and how it kind of lays out for you.
It's inversely related to what it was last year. We had to fly out to Oregon, and we had, with the GLIAC scheduling, we had 2 trips to the Upper Peninsula last year, and then some trips to Ohio. We're fortunate this year that our non-conference games, both our non-conference games, are both at home,
right.
And then both of the Upper Peninsula teams we play here at Lovers, and so I think that's flipped our travel schedule immensely. We only have 1 trip out of state this year down for Ohio Dominican, which is going to be tough in Columbus, but it's a very favorable schedule from being around a home atmosphere. We're very fortunate to have the 7 games. When Notre Dame College switched leagues, we're very, very fortunate to get a 1-game deal, and very fortunate to have Truman State, which is a good institution, come in and play us. So it's going to set up great. I like having our first 3 games at home. I'm hoping that we, at the beginning of the year when the weather's warm, the students come out, we have great atmosphere, and so we're looking forward to that, and getting some of these guys back off injury and getting Heath Parling back in the mix, and Chris Robinson, and a lot of these guys back in the mix, I think will make an exciting opener and an exciting start to the season.
For Grand Valley State head coach Matt Mitchell, I'm DJ Foster. Thanks for watching this GLIAC football preview.